Welcome, my friends, to Icast. This is the sporting show of the year. All the new products are launched right here on this floor for the most part. And so there's a lot of new products out, and I'm going to go in this video. We're going to dive into some of the cool ones that I've seen. Also, I got to see the product showcase. I don't know what all's out, but it's hard to see it all here in one day. But we're going to try to show you guys some of the key products that I'm super excited about. So let's go. First off, we're gonna stop in the Rapala booth. Here is the whole new Crush City lineup, okay? This is something that I've been working on for 2 years now, and there's a lot of baits in here that, man, they're unbelievable. I've caught a lot of fish. I've actually, to give you guys an understanding of this, it's literally been, okay, so since I've had the finished product, I've had them for about 8 months, I've won, in some way, shape, or form, I've won $249,000 on these baits in tournament bass fishing. So, crazy, obviously. It's hard to pick a favorite. The number one, I gotta pick it, is of course the freeloader. I won Gunner's Roll on this guy right here. We'll be doing more videos later on. It's a great vibrating jig trailer, but it's even a better like Damiki style bait. And I think this is a technique that's trending crazy hard right now. Obviously, it's just a bite getter. It catches a lot of fish. So then, of course, a swim bait. I have a 3 and a 4 inch. This one has more thump to it, a 3 inch. 4 inch has a little bit, it's not as aggressive. So this one has more body roll. This one has still a good body roll. Each of them, though, have a very consistent kicking action, and that's really important when you're talking about swim baits. Phenomenal colors, too. Okay, going into the crawl. This is the cleanup crawl. Inverted legs, phenomenal, consistent kicking action. That's very important. I've caught up to 13 or 14 bass. Actually, on a football jig, on a jig, I've literally caught 14 bass on one of these in the back of a jig. So really very, very durable, and that's important. Now, flipping, I've caught like 3, 4 bass, 5 bass in one time, but we did put this little deal here. It's called like a raised rib, and that's for exposing. So once you rip up that, then you go back to the actual main body, and then it's like right there, you're ready to roll. Like it's literally like another way of catching a couple more fish, and then there's more bang for your buck. Next, of course, the BLT. It's a Ned BLT. This is TPE plastic, so you cannot mix this with other plastic. In addition to that, it's high floating. I did not put a lot of salt in this bait. There is a decent amount of salt, but not too much. The key with this is making it a higher floating bait, and it ultimately will stand up a 1/4 ounce Ned head. So that is very important. When you cast it up fish, it runs down to your bait, you know that bait's sitting up. This is also tapered right here, so you have more action. It actually has action, which a lot of Ned baits on the market do not. That was important. And of course, you guys know I love to thread a hook inside of a Ned style bait, and that's exactly how I got 3rd place at St. Clair on this bait right here, putting it in there at a size number 2 finesse Nico hook, drop shot, pitch out there, smallmouth, eat it up. And of course, it smells too. It has actually a lot of scent to it. I wanted all these baits to have a good scent, and so we sort of worked on the perfect scent and got it sort of dialed in, and they all have a good little scent to them. Okay, next on the list, last but not least, is the Bronco Bug. This guy right here is a very unique overall profile, a bug style. This has raised ribs on each side, inverted legs. This hinge right here on this dude actually helps. When it hits the bottom, it'll come back, it'll hit its head, it'll go back to rest. So every time that bait hits the bottom, those legs come up, goes back. With any sort of like force. I mean, it has to hit, I'm gonna say like 90% of the time it does that. But it also has this really cool kicking action. It's an undulating action. And there's been a couple different JDM baits that have this action, which I took a lot of inspiration from that. And actually, one was Nori's and one was OSP, both of them. And I don't know, there might be a third actually. And I don't know who came up with it first, but it's phenomenal. It's a very cool action, but I wanted a thicker profile bait that I could punch, flip, get into some thicker cover. In addition to adding some attributes of a bait that I really felt like that hinge, adding those inverted legs, adding something a little bit more unique, and to where it was more functional for exactly what I wanted it to do. And that's exactly what we did with the Bronco Bug. All right, so that is it for Crush City, but we're gonna dive into some of the Rapala hard baits and some of the new stuff from Rapala right now. All right, so now on the hard bait side of things, woo! Oh, okay, this is the PXR Maverick. Okay, let me grab, I'm gonna grab this guy. This is one of my favorites. So this guy right here, I've caught a lot of bass on it. This is called Pearl Sexy Shad. Really cool bait. The cool thing about this bait that's unique, okay, there's a lot of different baits out there on the market and jerk baits out there on the market. But for me, the biggest thing with a jerk bait, number one, it has to come out of the package ready to roll with super sharp hooks. These are red line trebles. You will not find a better treble to put on a jerk bait. It is unbelievable. They don't tangle. They're ready to roll. They're as big as they can be on a jerk bait without them tangling. And that's really important. They also don't catch, they don't catch they're big enough and small enough at the same point in time, they're not going to catch that lip. So it's really important when you're putting a jerk bait, you want to have dialed in hooks. And a lot of jerk baits on the market, you have to swap the hooks out to get the perfect, to have the best hookups. This bait is already ready out of the package. The other thing is castability. Huge deal with castability. This has a weight transfer in it. Every time you cast, it locks in, has a magnet in it, and it locks out, boom, and then that weight transfer comes back. When it's sitting, jerk, 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 very erratic action. And that's important as well. The other thing you're going to have, some of the best jerk baits on the market, including this one, is when you're going to hit that jerk bait hard, right? And you're trying to get that fish to commit to your jerk bait, whether it's on forward-facing sonar, or there's a school out there and you're just casting it out there, or there's a group of fish. The key with that is your line not getting, your front hook getting not wrapped around your line. That's really important. And that jerk bait does a really good job of not doing that. Now, all of them will do it at some point in time. Some of them do it worse than others. This one does a really good job of not messing up your presentation and darting around. The key is that erratic darting action. That's what triggers them into biting, and that PXR Maverick is a bad little dude. It is. I think it is like around that $15 mark, so it is a higher price point bait, but it is well worth it. It comes completely ready to go out of the package. I don't do anything to it. It is ready to roll. So for all my forward-facing sonar friends out there on them Highland reservoirs, I know there's a lot of guys that have been waiting for this one. This is a heavy, heavy jigging wrap. There was a jigging wrap that was out a while back. You can't get any longer, and these guys are buying them for like $50 to $100. And now we finally came out with the jigging wrap Magnum. So it's super heavy. It's fast sinking. It's actually an ounce and an eighth. So this is an ounce and an eighth. I'll take this out of the package. I'm gonna grab a really cool color. This is freaking, oh my gosh, that thing's gonna catch me. So this is shad, which is, that makes sense. You're typically, when you're utilizing this for largemouth, a lot of times you're trying to really imitate a shad. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to reel in a few before all you guys get it, but single large hook. The other big thing with this is there's a swivel. It's a swivel on that so they don't get leverage. When you have that much weight on that bait, when it falls, you don't want that treble hook right there. You just don't want them to get leverage. So before all the jigging wraps were stationary, this having a swivel right there allows for that fish, when you hook him, he can't get as much leverage and you don't lose as many fish. Now jigging wrap is still on the front end. This is a front end technique that not a lot of people really utilize. But in the next 5 years, this is going to be mainstream. I'm just calling it right now. It has been. I've caught a lot of bass. Actually, the first time I've probably really seen a lot of a jigging wrap. I've caught bass, back in the day at the Classic on it. I've caught them, obviously, at Smith Lake. I've caught them a lot of little tournaments where, especially Highland reservoirs where the fish get deep. Like I'm talking like 30, 40, 50 foot deep. There's not a better bait than a jigging wrap, and We'll do some video on that, trust me. I actually caught some really big ones at Lanier on it too. So if you're into the forward-facing sonar game or wanting to, if you don't have one of these in your box, some way, shape, or form, you're missing out. Okay, so next on the list, I'm gonna show you guys, there are some new shad wraps. The Shad Wrap Elite right here. It is like a high-end shad wrap. I'm trying to sort of get it focused a little bit. You see him? Trying, sorry y'all. I'm trying. There it is. So that's a high-end shad wrap. It comes with really good hooks on them and everything ready to roll. So that's a little bit different, and they come in different sizes. Those I have not used them a lot, but they are good. Now this guy right here, actually I thought I saw, hold up. I'm gonna interrupt I'm sorry I'm gonna have to interrupt this conversation, my friends. I got the man himself right here. Hold up, come on, Ott. Come on, Ott. All right, so this is actually one that I'm really excited about. the deep tiny, now Odd's phenomenal. Okay, now Odd is phenomenal at making some pretty good crankbaits.
They're fair.
They're good, but this is, like, I'm not even joking. Out of all the crankbaits, this is my favorite.
Is it?
Is it my favorite?
Yeah.
This one right here is my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, because you like tiny, but you're just
I like just a little bit deeper.
Yep.
So what? And you go ahead and tell the folks at home what this is.
Yep. So that is deep tiny. So it is. You do that. It is exactly the same body, right?
It is.
Exactly the same.
So what do they do?
But a little bit more lip.
With the babysitter?
But I'll tell you what impressed me the most about it, and what I did not expect, was how much better it comes through cover. Dude,
It's unbelievable.
In a brush pile, and it come right through.
You know, the nastiest rod pile you got, yeah, crank it right through there, and it's gonna get locked up by a bass.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can, I mean, on 10, you can get 7 foot out of it.
I know.
You can get 7 foot out of it. You even had a few pre-production models, didn't you?
I did. Otter might have made me a couple special ones that I might not be able to talk about. They're pretty good. So I've got a chance to actually play with these a lot, and it is definitely one. I'm telling you, if there's a crankbait in the last 5 years, this is my favorite by far. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you guys, it is my favorite. So it's very, very good. It's one you're gonna have in tackle box. Thank you all for running us through that. All right, so on to the next one. All right, guys, we have one more thing we have to show you here at the VMC Rapala booth, and that is the brand new swinging Ned rig jig. This thing is really cool, okay? So it has a #1 size finesse Nico on it, and it's an articulated head, so it's basically a Ned rig swing head, all right? This is a 3/8 ounce, okay? It comes in an 8, it comes in a quarter. It basically, what it is, it's the perfect Texas rigging jig head for a Ned rig, but you also can have it exposed. So like fishing brush, fishing wood, but in addition to this, there's one other thing that it is, it has a lot more action. So I'm gonna actually rig this thing real quick here with, this is a little Ned BLT. So I'm gonna rig it Texas rigged first. Let me rig him up here. Okay, so the whole key with this deal right here is it has a lot more, obviously has a lot more range of motion than just a shaky head. But in addition to that, when you're throwing a TPE bait like the BLT, because this is 3/8 of an ounce and it's not locked down on a jig head, this will stand up any way. So a 3/8 ounce, I mean, you can't, what I'm saying is you can't float, you can't have a jig head stand up with a Ned bait typically with a 3/8 ounce. Like the most you can do is like a quarter on this bait right here to really stand it up straight. Well, this, say I'm fishing 40, 50 foot of water on Lanier. Now, all of a sudden, this 3/8 ounce weight gets down to the bottom. I'm dragging down there, but my Ned bait stays up and it's moving around. I'm also fishing around wood, rock, whatever it is. You go down there, bite it, you got them good to go. That is huge when you're talking about that. And it also has a lot of action. So this is really the best, like for me, the best Ned rig cover, Ned rig jig head for any kind of cover. In addition to that, really good, like, you know, even in grass and all those things, hopping out of grass, it's not exposed, and you have a phenomenal hook there with that #1. So I've caught a lot of big fish on this. I've actually caught one about, I got a check at Clarks Hill on spotted bass using this exact jig and this worm, and then I've also caught one over 5 pounds on this exact setup, actually flipping it in wood for spotted bass. So big largemouth, big spots, big smallmouth. This head's pretty dang legit. All right, so next up for Icast, we rolled out of the Rapala booth, and what do we got right here? What? An Icon? Icon's in here, what? So we have the Icon family here this week, and we are announcing the new LX20. It's foot short, a little bit smaller boat. Actually, the same beam width, it's 98 inches wide. So, but it's just a little bit more spry, get in and out of them places. So it's set up the biggest, same storage system, all that good stuff. It's just, like I said, a little bit smaller package. Has all the goods of you know, everything in my LX21. Just a couple different things. Tackle storage system is a little bit different. And then it comes standard with a 5-inch screen in the back. So really cool color combo. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna be my next one, but somebody's gonna like that boat quite a bit. We'll do more on that in the LX21 or LX20 later on, and sort of show you what's going on. But we're gonna walk around the show a little bit and see what's new here at Icast. Hey, Alex Davis, this guy's been caught so many bass. We're here at the Shimano booth, and I'm like, listen, I'm a big fan of Shimano. There's a lot of different things. I use the 2500 Vanford. I think that's a great spinning reel.
We got you a good one.
All right, I want to see what's new. What is new here this year? Come on.
I'm all over here.
Give me a rundown. Give me the goods. So it's a new Stratic?
New Stratic. This is 3000. They're going to have 1000, 2500, 3000, 4000, 5000. What they've done is they've taken 4 technologies from Stella, which is Shimano's top dog, and they've dropped it into Stratic. So they got 4 really awesome tech. It's Infinity Drive, which helps you reel all them big smallmouth, all the big largemouth, some gunners will. So now when you're fighting the fish, you have more power over the fish. So they got 4 awesome technologies from Stella. They put it into Stratic, so you might need to get some of these big dogs.
So the one thing I will tell you this, okay, that T-wing deal is the money, okay? I can't reel left hand. I'm sorry, guys. You guys see me? I've always changed my reel. It's horrible. I'm just not that way. I literally feel like I don't even know what I would do. But that T-wing, that is what I swap out my 2500s to. That is listen. The absolute best handle on a spinning reel, hands down. Now, drag system, I want to know.
Ooh, they got Duracross, they have Infinity Cross, Infinity Drive, and anti-twist fin, but they've improved the drag.
What's MSRP?
That's going to be $219.
No joke?
So it's going to be cheaper than your Vanford, but
cheaper than a Vanford.
You might have to get some.
Yeah, this is, dude, that drag. Okay, so this is the thing for drag purposes, okay? I can tell instantly this is a good drag. Because it's small teeth. It has it's small increments every time. It's beep, beep, beep. The longer you have, if you take like a turn and it doesn't even like click, it's like, it's not as smooth of a drag. That's gonna be a good drag system. 219 is the,
219. The main thing with drag from Shimano, what they're known for is the smoothness. It's not gonna catch when the fish starts to surge. You're not gonna get that herky-jerky. That's why they have the best drag.
They do.
Smallmouth, big largemouth.
There's a reason why I've been throwing Shimano spinning reels forever. And that's it. All right, I'm about to pick some up. When are they gonna be out? Probably fall?
September, October.
Okay, fall. You're gonna see me reeling these, reeling one in on this deal. I'll give you a rundown later on. When I actually get a couple, I'm gonna let you guys know what my thoughts are on this compared to the Vanford. Because if they're cheaper, it's a better option. I'm gonna let you all know that one.
You don't need to get better though. Give us a break. Give us a break.
No, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. I need all the help I can get. All right, guys, we are here in the bait pop booth. Crazy thing, okay, look. I've been playing with this all spring, all winter, played with it in different scenarios, and cause I'll be honest with you, I'm always skeptical until like I really put it through several different things. So like you see something on the market, you're like, okay, what does that do? Okay, does it really do what it says it's gonna do? And bait pop is something that came out last fall, right? It's sort of like, they have sparkle scales, there's a whole bunch of different things going on. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And basically what it was originally was, it's a sonar intensifier. So it gives a better view and a better image on forward-facing sonar. That being said, okay, in addition to that, it has scent, and then now they have like sparkle scales that are on it. So anyway, the OG, I put it on my baits, and I could tell, like, okay, there's a difference. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And as I played with it, like in scenarios where the water was a little bit more turbulent, like say you have a lot of wind and you get a little sediment built up where your image is not as good, that is when I really saw a huge difference with bait pop and showing me my bait out there. And when I'm not talking about like, when I'm throwing like a 1 ounce like jig head or 3/4 ounce jig head or something like that, maybe not as big of a deal in that scenario, but when I'm talking like throwing an 1/8 ounce, okay, like for instance, if I take a freeloader and I put an 1/8 ounce jig head on there, okay? Say I'm fishing in like 5 to 10 foot of water. I put a bait pop on there and it does show up substantially better than if I didn't have it on there. Like I'm talking like 40% better clarity of that bait. And so that's when I really started to understand. It's not every scenario, it's not gonna be, oh my gosh, right? But it really definitely, it's always in my boat. And then the other thing that now that they came out with was sparkle scale. So at St. Clair, I would actually do this. Let me grab a net. So here's a Ned BLT, right? Ned BLT. I would take this. This is actually the crappie. It says crappie on it, but it ain't for crappie. I would take this and I would put this, these are pink sparkles, right? On my bait. It just added like a green pumpkin pink hue. I don't know if it mattered in the world, but I could see my bait obviously better, and the scent of it, smallmouth of scent, which BLT does come with scent as well, but adds a little bit more scent, and of course that pink scales. So like the actual pink on there, it adds something to it. So customizing your actual baits is another really cool thing. So I'll show you. Hold on. So here's. So this side is pearl, right? So if I want a little bit of sparkle, like think about this. A freeloader's moving, shimmying like that, right? I want some sparkle there, some flat. I literally put like the silver sparkle. It's just like ice out, and that shimmies a little bit. It just gives them a little bit different look. I'm a firm believer. That's why I said, look, I'm never going to say it's not. And I realized after several scenarios, especially this year at Clark's Hill, when you couldn't even see your forward-facing sonar, I was like, whoa. And then adding scent and adding some certain things. Now, I think scent, now I'm gonna be honest with you, scent has a very unique scenario, but I think it really does help 30% of the time. It never tends to hurt. So if I'm gonna take the time, it's good. Bait pop, it's legit. I'm gonna sign out and tell y'all it's legit. If you're trying to get better at using your forward-facing sonar, if you're trying to customize your baits, even if you're not using forward-facing sonar, customize your baits, it's something that I would recommend anyone try. So let me know what you think. I want to know if anybody's used it. Drop a comment below. Let me know. We have
hey guys.
met up. We've met up.
No, this is a standard saying of Icast. Hey guys, we're here at Icast 2023. I know it's 2023. You ain't
Do
got
you know, man? There's sometimes, man, I feel like these years have been going by so fast, though. For real.
You got to remind people what year it is.
I feel that way, though. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like, is it 22 or is it 23?
Icast 2023.
I feel like ever since 2020, I've been like 2021, 22, 23?
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's 2020 something.
So the real question, somebody comment below, let us know. How many game changers have you seen in this show today? I haven't seen -3.
I'm gonna be honest.
No, there's some really cool stuff.
There's some cool stuff. I mean, I haven't got a chance to look at everything. Right. But I would say, I'm not gonna say game changers, because this is the thing. Now in the industry where everything is everybody basically has a lot of the similar stuff.
Right.
Like rods, this, that, the other. Like, you don't see those major advances like 100% better than this, or 100%. So a game changer now is 20 or 30% better, or 50% better than maybe something that's out there.
100%.
Or there's maybe like there's some cool stuff they did, some people have done, but I haven't got a chance to really look at all the products. So I can't say that to be for sure. I mean, Freeloader's pretty good, but
That is
is
good bait.
But I'm just saying, I don't know.
That's a really good bait.
I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of things that you got to go through. The problem is you just don't know the potential of stuff until you fish.
Until you use it.
Yes, exactly.
And a lot of stuff here is not going to be available until like the fall.
Yes.
And so you ain't really going to get to use it. So we shall see. But
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, big dog. Where are you off to next?
I'm gonna take a bathroom break.
A break.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break.
You can go take a break. All right. See you, bro.